Now we're going to enter the actual consumptions for this area. We'll click on Add Consumption, select electricity first, and hit Continue. Now we're going to choose the actual utility that's corresponding with the utility in the rates section. So I'm going to select Electric Utility, and add that for the description. Because this is related to actual billing information, you can select the time period that this information is related to. You can choose either a calendar year or a fiscal year to enter the information for. Now, all of the data that we have here, it's going to be related to the region that's served by that utility. So the amount of square feet that are served by that given utility. It may be that there are multiple utilities serving different parts of the installation. We've seen installations with multiple electric utilities that had different portions of their installation served by different utilities, and similarly multiple natural gas utilities. The area that you put in here should be associated with the building area that is being supplied by that utility. It's not necessarily the same amount of space or building area that your study is focused on. So if there's only a subset of buildings that are supplied by this utility, you want to associate that number. For this example, we're going to use approximately the size of the study, which is 3.2 million square feet. I'm going to change the units to kilowatt hours, and this unit is associated with the amount column here. And because this is just a tutorial study, there is no actual billing data, I'm just going to make up values here. So this is the electric data. It's going to be lower in the winter. Again, these are just going to be made up values to get us through this section. And we'll try to peak sometime here in the summer. And then start dropping back down. It doesn't have to be entirely realistic. We're just putting it in there. Now, we talked before, we had a demand cost and a commodity cost for the electricity. The commodity cost was about 9 cents per kilowatt hour. In order to make this straightforward and easy to put in an associated cost, I'm just going to say that the equivalent total cost per kilowatt hour is going to be 10 cents, so we can just drop these numbers down by an order of magnitude. So these numbers are obviously very small in comparison to what an actual installation would use, but they're just here to provide some guidance on the way that you would fill this out. Normally you would just collect a year's worth of the data and enter it directly in this location. Finish filling this out. Okay. So we can click Continue to save this information and move on to the natural gas. Again, selecting the natural gas utility. And entering the same square footage. It doesn't have to be the same as the other utility though. Again, I want to emphasize that this building area should be the building area associated with that utility. So if there's a different region that's being served by the natural gas utility, you'd want to enter that square footage in here. I'm going to select therms, and very similarly, I'll enter in values here, trying to form some kind of a profile that would be at least somewhat consistent with the energy usage curve that you would expect for this period. And then similarly, if we're doing a cost per therm, we had about 85 cents. We're going to call it $1 per therm for easy math, and we'll just be copying these back over. So it would be very easy if we had actual bills to bring in this data and copy it directly from those bills. Okay, all the information's been entered. We're going to go ahead and hit continue to save that. All right, so now we have the rates that have been entered, the consumptions, which include both the usage and the cost, and we're going to hit continue to go to the next stage to manage users.